Alright, here we go again. Back at it again with a top 5. But this time it's gonna be the top 5 best underrated champions. This is also a PC tier list, it might be different on console, so keep that in mind. And for this top 5, I tried to get a champion in each role. I don't want this to be all just damage or all support and stuff. So I'm gonna try and get at least one champion in each role. Number 5 in the list, this is not gonna be in order. Number 1 doesn't mean it's the best one. And number 5 is gonna be Torvald. Now I actually don't know why Torvald is kinda underrated. I feel like you can actually make Torvald really well. I think if you're like higher than Diamond, maybe Torvald is not that good anymore. Because I've seen pro players, they don't really see Torvald as like a good champion. In the higher ranks, Torvald is not really that good. Because with Torvald can get easily countered if the enemy team is actually really good. If they're all playing together really well. But if you're just playing casually, or maybe like you're below gold or something, maybe even platinum, I think you can play him really well. But you can still make him work. His silence is really good. The way you can like shield your teammates is really good. He's also really good at dealing with flankers. So if the enemy team has like 2 flankers, for example, Torvald is really good at countering them. Maybe that's why I hate Torvald, because I'm a flank main. I really hate Torvalds. Same with the number 4, Ying. There's definitely better supports out there currently. I mean, let's just talk about Furia, for example, or Io, for example. But just because there's a better version doesn't mean you cannot use the underrated champions. For example, Ying. The problem with Ying, she's actually not bad at healing. But the problem with Ying is she lacks damage. Unless you go focusing lens, then focusing lens Ying, it's not bad. But if you go full support Ying, you're kind of like the old Ceres, you're just a heal bot. All you do with Ying is basically heal and heal and heal. Her ultimate is pretty good though, I'll be honest. And I used to main Ying as a support. I don't really care if she's meta or not. I don't know, Ying is just so fun to play as well. The way you can like teleport around. If you can end the game quickly with Ying, that's gonna be really nice. Number 3 in the list, it's gonna be Juggs. Now for some people, Juggs might not really be underrated. You're probably like, I see Juggs every game, what are you talking about? The thing is with underrated champions, there's always better options out there with underrated champions. So if we compare Juggs and BK, for example, BK doesn't have that much risk when you play BK, and you do so much damage with BK. With Juggs, there's a lot of risk when playing this champion. If you don't know how to position yourself really well, if you don't know how to play him, you're gonna struggle with Juggs. He's very high risk, high reward, and BK is not even like that hard to play. But with Juggs, he's already hard to play. You need to position yourself really well. But other than that, if you know how to play this guy pretty well, you're gonna dominate the game. You can easily kill people with Juggs. I actually started playing Juggs a little bit lately, and I really enjoy him a lot. He's so fun to play. If you're looking for a damage champion that is not really meta and also not really that bad, I would actually recommend Juggs. Number 2 in the list is gonna be Buck. Now it's the same reasoning as Juggs. Buck is a very high risk, high reward champion. If we compare someone like Vatu and Buck, Vatu is also high risk, high reward, but with Vatu, you have so much mobility. You do a lot of damage with Vatu, and the way you can just escape so easily is so good for Vatu. With Buck, you only have one jump and a heal, and that heal is easily countered with Cause Rise. As soon as you jump to someone, if the whole enemy team is looking at you, you're gonna die in the process. If the enemy team is like, they're not really that good, they're just all over the place, they're playing solo, you can dominate with Buck really easily. You can carry your team easily. But if the enemy team are good, they're always grouping up, they have teamwork, Buck might struggle. But if you know how to position yourself really well, if you know when to engage properly, you can make Buck as a meta, I'll be honest with you. Now before I say number 1, I just want to say an honorable mention, which is gonna be Rukas. I don't see that much Rukas players, but if you're actually really good with Rukas, he's a really good off-tank. I don't play him that much, and I was complaining like, oh, he doesn't do that much damage, he's kinda eh. And I played him a little bit, I was like, oh no, never mind. I would prefer Rukas than Rom. With Rom, you can get countered really easily. They just stun you and you're dead. With Rukas, even though they buy Wrecker for you, if they stun you, it's still a lot harder for you to die than Rom. And his ult, oh my god, dude. You can get easy kills with his ult. Now, number 1 in the list is gonna be Willow. I put Willow in this list just because of one ability. The ability where you cannot get any healing. You know the meta is currently around like 2 tanks, 1 healer. If you play Willow, those tanks will not get any healing. Honestly, I don't know why Willow is underrated. The only reason that I can think of is there's better AoE damaging out there like BK. I'm not saying Willow cannot do damage. Willow can definitely do a lot of damage, but her escape is kind of and when you get flanked, you're kind of screwed because you don't have any CC, you don't have like stun or anything. As soon as you get flanked, you might be GG. If you can position yourself really well, you can harass the tanks and the supports so much, there's gonna be mad at you. Willow is actually one of my favorite damage out there. Tiberius and Willow are my favorite damage, and every time I play Willow, I just pop off with Willow. Willow is so good. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my top 5 or not? But of course, just a reminder, this is only my opinion, so do not take it personally. And let me know down in the comments below, who do you think is the most underrated champion in Paladins? So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.